So, grab your popcorn. Because what I am about to tell you is not just celebrity gossip, it is a full-blown emotional roller coaster that tore apart friendships, marriages, and reputations. This is the story of Nicole Murphy and Lisa Raye McCoy, two women once seen smiling in the same circles, now locked in a feud that still sends shockwaves through Hollywood. At first, everything looked perfect. Lisa Raye, glowing, powerful, and married to Michael Misick, the then premier of Turks and Caicos. She was living a literal fairy tale, luxury events, elegant gowns, diplomatic dinners, the kind of life that looks flawless on Instagram. But behind that royal facade? A storm was already brewing. Because whispers began spreading, whispers that Nicole Murphy, yes, the very same ex-wife of Eddie Murphy, was getting a little too close to Lisa Raye's husband. Now imagine this, you welcome someone into your world, into your home, thinking they are a friend, only to later suspect that they might be the one destroying it from within. That is betrayal on another level. Lisa Raye, being the straight shooter she is, did not hold back. She went public. She called Nicole out, labeling her a homewrecker. And the internet? Oh, the internet exploded. Comments, reactions, threads, everyone had an opinion. Some defended Nicole. Others sided with Lisa Raye, calling her the woman who finally spoke up. But here's where it gets chilling. Lisa Raye claimed her own mother had warned her long before the wedding. At her bachelorette party, while champagne glasses clinked and laughter filled the air, her mom allegedly pulled her aside and whispered, "You better watch that one. Eddie Murphy's wife." And yet, Lisa Raye, young, hopeful, blinded by love, brushed it off. She believed in loyalty. She believed in friendship. But sometimes the people you trust the most are the ones holding the knife. Years later, those same accusations kept resurfacing, not just about her husband, but about other married men too. Nicole denied it all, but the damage was irreversible. Their friendship, their sisterhood, whatever it once was, turned to ashes. And just when everyone thought the drama had cooled down, it reignited. Because then came the Antoine Fuqua scandal. Nicole was photographed, clear as day, kissing the married film director while he was still with actress Lela Rochon. The photos leaked, the headlines screamed, and the internet lost its mind. Every blog, every gossip page, every YouTube commentator, everyone had that picture. And guess who stepped back into the spotlight? Lisa Raye. She went off. Publicly, unapologetically, reminding the world of what she had said years ago. See? This is what I meant. People began connecting the dots. Was this a pattern? A behavior? A warning Lisa Raye had given too early for anyone to believe? But just when things seemed like they could not get any messier, they did. Because Lisa Raye and Nicole actually met up. Face to face. According to Lisa Raye, they sat down like grown women, and she said, "Let's talk." No cameras. No drama. Just honesty. Nicole allegedly told her she hated all the chaos between them, that women should be lifting each other up, not tearing each other apart. And for a brief second, just 1 second, it seemed like peace was possible. But in Hollywood, peace never lasts. Enter Michael Strahan, Nicole's then fiancé. The golden ex-football star turned morning show host. And out of nowhere, Lisa Raye allegedly sent him proof, yes, proof, of Nicole doing something she should not have been doing. No one knows exactly what was on that tape, but whatever it was enough to break the engagement. The internet went crazy. Lisa Raye's sister, rapper Da Brat, even jumped into the chaos, defending her sister online and fanning the flames of the feud. At this point, it was not just about two women anymore. It was families, friends, fans, everyone picking a side. And then came the final blow. Lisa Raye revealed that during her time as the First Lady of Turks and Caicos, Nicole had accepted an invitation from her husband to visit the island, without telling her. When Lisa Raye checked the passenger manifest of her private plane, Nicole's name was right there. She confronted her. Nicole denied it. Then stopped answering calls altogether. That was it. Lisa Raye was done. She called Michael Strahan again and sent him the tape. A tape, she claimed, that proved everything. Imagine that level of hurt. Your friend. Your husband. Your trust, gone. The world watching. And all of it playing out like the messiest, most public soap opera of all time. To this day, the tension between Nicole Murphy and Lisa Raye McCoy stands as one of Hollywood's most unforgettable betrayals. Not because of the scandal alone, but because it shows how friendship can turn into warfare when power, fame, and temptation collide. And maybe, just maybe, this story is not just about them. It is about every time you ignored your intuition. Every time you let someone too close, hoping they would not hurt you, until they did. When you think the storm has passed, that is exactly when another wave hits harder. The feud between Lisa Raye McCoy and Nicole Murphy had already burned deep scars into both women's lives, but when Pastor Noel Jones entered the picture, the story went from dramatic to downright biblical. This was no longer about Hollywood gossip or ex-husbands. This became a twisted triangle of faith, friendship, and revenge, where betrayal wore the mask of holiness. Lisa Raye had always said it herself. She came from the south side of Chicago, a place where loyalty was sacred, respect was law, and betrayal was a declaration of war. Down there, you did not sneak around behind someone's back. You faced things head-on. So when rumors began whispering that Nicole was allegedly getting involved with Pastor Jones, a man Lisa Raye once held close, it was not just gossip. It was personal. Let's rewind to 2011, the year whispers turned into wildfire. People began talking about Lisa Raye and Pastor Noel Jones being more than friends. Cameras caught them together, side by side, in what looked like quiet intimacy. But when questioned, Lisa Raye played it calm. She said he was her spiritual advisor, her counselor, her friend, nothing more. For a moment, people believed her. But then Pastor Jones, instead of ending the rumors, fed them. He laughed about it on his own reality show, Pastors of LA, teasing what it might be like if Lisa Raye became a pastor's wife. The audience was hooked. The internet started spinning fantasies. The glamorous Hollywood actress turned First Lady of the Church. It was the kind of story that makes for perfect headlines: redemption, romance, and a sprinkle of scandal. But then, the twist no one saw coming. Enter Nicole Murphy. According to insiders, the moment Nicole found out about Lisa Raye's connection to Pastor Jones, something inside her flipped. It was as if the sight of Lisa Raye moving on, smiling again, finding peace again, reignited old wounds. Suddenly, Nicole allegedly began showing up in the same circles, reaching out to the same man. And people close to the situation said it was intentional. It was not love. It was retaliation. See, Nicole allegedly believed Lisa Raye had meddled in her own relationships before, especially the one with Michael Missick, Lisa Raye's ex-husband. So in Nicole's mind, this was justice. Her version of karma. A twisted tit-for-tat, one betrayal repaid with another. But what Nicole might not have realized was how brutal public opinion would be this time around. Because when the news broke that she was allegedly linked to Pastor Jones, a pastor, of all people, the backlash was vicious. Social media tore her apart. Comments flooded in, "Nicole Murphy is too beautiful to be this messy. Why is she always in the middle of someone's marriage? How do you preach about faith and end up in a scandal like this?" People were not just disappointed, they were heartbroken. Because they remembered her heartbreak. They remembered when Nicole cried over Eddie Murphy's betrayal years ago. And now, it seemed like she had become what she once despised. Fans felt betrayed too. They saw hypocrisy, not from a place of judgment, but from a place of disbelief. How could a woman who knew the pain of infidelity bring that pain to someone else? Even her supporters struggled to defend her this time. Some said she was addicted to the attention. Others believed she was chasing validation, the kind that comes from proving she could still have any man she wanted, even if that man came with a cross around his neck. Meanwhile, Lisa Raye stayed composed. She did not scream on Instagram or post cryptic captions. She let her silence sting louder than words. But when she did speak, her words hit like thunder. She said betrayal always finds its way to the light, and when it does, karma never misses. She also cleared up one of the nastiest rumors floating around, the one that claimed she had been involved with Eddie Murphy. Lisa Raye called that pure fabrication. Even Eddie himself confirmed it. That lie, she said, was another desperate attempt to smear her name. But what did bother her was Nicole's consistent pattern of crossing lines, whether it was a friend's husband, a colleague's boyfriend, or now, a spiritual figure. Because in Lisa Raye's world, some things were sacred. You did not touch another woman's peace. You did not taint someone's faith for revenge. You did not play God while living in sin. And slowly, the world began to see what Lisa Raye had been trying to say all along. This was not about one man or one rumor, it was about a pattern. Every few months, Nicole's name would pop up in a new scandal. Married men. Taken men. Men of the cloth. She would apologize, deny, or deflect, but the story always came back around. Even within the church, the fallout was heavy. Some parishioners began questioning Pastor Jones's judgment. Others said he blurred the sacred boundary between mentorship and temptation. Suddenly, what started as a celebrity rumor became a moral crisis. Behind closed doors, those who knew both women described their energy like fire and ice. Lisa Raye, fierce, loyal, and dangerously honest. Nicole, magnetic, confident, and unbothered by limits. Some said Nicole's beauty made her fearless. Others said it made her reckless. She was not competing with other women, she simply did not see them. And that, perhaps, was the most dangerous power of all. Because in Hollywood, beauty opens doors. But arrogance? That is what slams them shut. As the years rolled by, Lisa Raye McCoy did something Hollywood rarely sees. She chose silence over chaos, peace over pettiness. She walked away from the endless cycle of headlines, interviews, and social media spats that kept trying to pull her back in. But the story never really disappeared. Every time Nicole Murphy's name reappeared in another scandal, the internet resurrected this one, the feud that became a legend. The one that symbolized how easily fame, ego, and jealousy can turn sisterhood into warfare. It became more than gossip. It became a warning, a tale told in Hollywood circles whenever someone asked, "Whatever happened to loyalty?" Because that is what this story was really about, not love, not men, not fame, but loyalty. The kind that money cannot buy, beauty cannot fake, and once broken, can never truly be repaired. In interviews, Lisa Raye spoke with a calm that only comes from surviving 1,000 emotional storms. There was no bitterness in her tone, only a quiet strength. "Sometimes betrayal doesn't need revenge," she said softly. "It teaches you who's real." Those words hit people differently. They were not just about Nicole Murphy, they were about every person who had ever smiled in your face while plotting behind your back. Lisa's words echoed across talk shows, podcasts, and fan pages. She was not the angry woman anymore, she was the truth teller. She even went deeper, saying, "When a woman keeps hurting others, it's because she's still trying to fix something inside herself." That line shattered the internet, not because it was petty, but because it was painfully true. It turned what once looked like celebrity drama into a mirror of human nature. Nicole's actions were no longer seen as random, they were seen as reflections of inner chaos. People began to see the story not just as a feud, but as a cycle of pain passed from one woman to another, disguised as revenge. Even Pastor Noel Jones eventually found his peace. The rumors followed him for a while, casting shadows on his sermons and his reputation, but time, as it always does, softened the noise. He continued preaching, while the world slowly moved on. But Nicole's image never fully healed. Every new headline about her, every whisper of another affair, brought back the ghosts of the past. The internet had given her a new identity she could never shake, the homewrecker. No matter how many apologies she gave or how many interviews she did to explain her side, the audience remembered. Because the public does not forget patterns, they connect them. They build stories out of repetition, and Nicole's story, unfortunately, was one of repeated heartbreak, both given and received. The cruel irony? Both women, Lisa Raye and Nicole, had been betrayed themselves. They both knew the sting of humiliation, the ache of being replaced, the feeling of being lied to by someone they trusted. They both knew what it was like to cry behind designer sunglasses, smiling in public while breaking in private. But instead of finding sisterhood in that shared pain, they turned it into a battleground. In a world where loyalty is rare and reputation is currency, their friendship collapsed under the weight of pride and ego. It was a cautionary tale, proof that beauty and fame can open every door, except the one called integrity. And when that door closes, no apology, no PR statement, and no spiritual sermon can open it again. Today, when people mention Lisa Raye, they speak of strength, the woman who stood her ground, who refused to let her truth be rewritten by anyone. When they mention Nicole, it's always with that lingering sadness, admiration mixed with disbelief. They call her gorgeous, yes, but also tragic. A woman who had it all, and kept losing the things that truly mattered: trust, friendship, and respect. But perhaps the most haunting part of this saga lies in the silence between them. Because betrayal does not always end with screaming. Sometimes, it ends with distance, the kind that no apology can bridge. Lisa Raye once said that loyalty is not tested in good times, it's tested when everything falls apart. And when it did, she learned something brutal yet freeing, that not everyone you celebrate with deserves a seat at your table. The truth is, betrayal does not announce itself. It walks in wearing perfume, smiling, holding a glass of champagne, saying, "I'm happy for you." But behind that smile lies envy waiting for its moment to strike. For Lisa Raye, the wound was not just emotional, it was spiritual. She said it herself: you invite someone into your home. You share your secrets. You celebrate their birthdays. And then one day, you realize they were quietly undoing you the whole time. That is not anger talking. That is heartbreak disguised as strength. Because betrayal does not just destroy trust, it contaminates every memory that came before it. Every laugh starts to feel like a lie. Every photo together becomes evidence of a friendship that died quietly. Lisa Raye called loyalty a sacred code, and Nicole's betrayal broke it, thread by thread, until there was nothing left but the ashes of what used to be love. And yet, Nicole had her own truth. In her story, she was not the villain. She was the one wronged, painted into the corner of every rumor. She believed Lisa Raye humiliated her, turned the world against her, and twisted her pain into entertainment. Her revenge was not born from hatred, it was born from hurt. She wanted to make Lisa feel what she had once felt: powerless, exposed, and betrayed. But revenge is a dangerous medicine. It does not heal, it infects. It promises relief but leaves emptiness. Nicole may have won the public argument for a moment, but in the quiet of her own reflection, she lost something far more sacred: peace. Because revenge might silence your enemy, but it also silences the part of you that was capable of forgiveness. In the end, that is what this story truly became, not just a Hollywood feud, but a lesson in human frailty. Two women, both scarred by betrayal, trapped in a cycle of hurt that neither could escape. And maybe, if there is one thing this saga teaches us, it is this: when loyalty dies, love becomes theater. Friendship becomes strategy. And revenge becomes a religion for the brokenhearted. For Lisa Raye, betrayal became the teacher she never asked for. It taught her that not everyone who smiles beside you is celebrating you, some are silently measuring your downfall. That not every "congratulations" comes from admiration, sometimes it comes from envy dressed as friendship. She began to replay the small things she had ignored: the tone shifts, the delayed replies, the glances that felt different. The little clues that screamed something is off, but she silenced them out of love. Hindsight is cruel like that, it always arrives late, whispering the truth only after the damage has been done. In the ruins of what was once a sisterhood, Lisa found herself lost in an emotional maze: anger, grief, nostalgia, disbelief, all colliding at once. Every memory became suspicious. Every laugh felt counterfeit. She found herself asking, was it ever real? Did Nicole mean it when she said she cared? Did all those nights of laughter and secrets mean anything, or were they just moments waiting to betray her later? For Lisa, the real tragedy was not losing Nicole, it was losing the innocent version of herself that believed some friendships were unbreakable. But behind the curtain of Nicole's defiance, behind the perfectly curated smiles and the unbothered interviews, there was something softer. Something sad. Those who knew her said there were nights she sat in silence, staring at old photos, remembering when things were simple, before the jealousy, before the pride, before revenge replaced forgiveness. The kind of silence where your thoughts are louder than your heartbeat. Because deep down, Nicole knew she had won the argument, but lost the friendship. And the truth about revenge? It feeds the ego but starves the soul. Their feud, once personal, became public property. Social media turned their heartbreak into entertainment. Strangers picked sides. Comment sections became battlefields. Memes mocked their pain. Podcasts dissected their friendship like it was a scripted drama. But real life isn't scripted, it's messy, it's human, and it hurts. And once the internet decides what your story is, you lose control of your own truth. Both women became trapped in roles written by people who never met them: Lisa Raye, the scorned one; Nicole, the homewrecker. The world stopped seeing them as two women and started seeing them as characters, frozen in a feud that had long since stopped being about either of them. As months turned into years, the fire dimmed, but the ashes never settled. Lisa Raye slowly began rebuilding herself, brick by brick. She chose peace, not because she was weak, but because she was tired of bleeding for battles that no longer mattered. She realized that closure is not something you wait for, it is something you create. She learned that forgiveness is